Now, retreat is a situation where you take time to go to a quiet place and then reflect on your life, examine yourself, and make decisions concerning certain parts of your life and how to move forward. So, and that's why the word retreat you hear today, that even offices, government offices, senators, Senate, National Assembly say they are going on retreat. Retreat is actually meant to be a moment where you do what we call a retrospection and a introspection. You know, when you look back and ask questions, what is the journey so far? How far have we gone? What has been our achievement? Have we achieved something? Have we achieved nothing? It's a moment where you ask yourself questions. The people of God, see, the essence why you ask that question, you take time, is because you want to really check and be sure whether you are on track or there is need for adjustment. So retreat is very important. And for the church, apart from like in a seminary, you will have what we call monthly retreat. It's meant to examine yourself 1 month so far. How have I fared spiritually? And during retreat, no visitors, nobody comes into the seminary. You see, you pass, you don't greet me, I pass, I don't greet you. Maybe you wave me, I wave you. Because it's a time that is spiritual, full of spiritual activity, spiritually loaded. There will be talks from priests from outside, and apart from these talks will be spiritual talk. The talk that will help you to go into yourself and ask yourself fundamental questions. Retreat. And also we have what we call retreat for married couples. For married couples to be able to go. See, everyday problem, family problem, school fees problem, feeding problem, making hair problem, clothes problem, a house rent problem. Everything, you get to a point that you are angry with your partner. Even when your partner has not committed any offense seriously, it's not the person that is the problem. It's that your brain is saturated with a lot of problems. So when you go, when you are there, before you know, it begins to affect you psychologically, and before you know, it begins to affect your marriage. It will begin to affect your life, begin to affect your spiritual life. Everything begins to go down. Why? Because there are a lot of issues on your mind. You have not been able to clear them. So, but when you go on retreat as a couple, it helps you to assess yourself. We have been married for 10 years. How far? Is it the same love we used to start 10 years ago that we are still operating on today? Has the love diminished? Why did the love diminish? It's not about blaming. When you're not the one, when you're supposed to be with me, you went and you sat down and were gisting with your friend. That was where their problem started from. No, retreat is not the time for blame. It's a time for personal evaluation, for personal reflection. You know, there's this song those days, I've forgotten the other part, say, examination, examination. Examine yourself whether you are in Jesus. Examine yourself. It's very important. So that is what retreat does. And when couples, married couples, they begin to have a lot of complications and issues, sometimes we do what? We recommend them for retreat. Because sometimes we send them from Lagos to as far as this Mount Table, Carmelite in Nsukka. Because when you enter, no phone. When you enter, the bed is not big, tiny bed. No luxury. It's a time for prayer, a time for meditation, a time for reflection. So that when you come out, you become a better person. Your marriage will become transformed. Because sometimes a lot of issues you have in marriage is quarreling. See, there is no quarrel. It's just that their brain has been confused. by a lot of wahala. So the priests are meant to do retreat. We do retreat annually. Married people are meant to go for retreat to also evaluate and examine their lives individually and examine their marriage. How far so far? The single people are also meant to do what? To go for retreat and examine how far you have moved in terms of your relationship, in terms of your activities. And then in schools, also we have examination. It's a time that the teacher will want you, will give you. That's why there's nothing like area of concentration. So lecturers don't give. So that you can go back and read. And then they put question, you'll be able to now recall what you have learned. From it, you'll be able to see your performance so far and see if you need an area where you have to intervene. So, and that's why Socrates, one of the fathers of philosophy, he said, unexamined life is not worth living. If you don't examine your life, you don't supposed to live. Go and hang yourself or drink otapia. Oh yes. Because see, your success in life, your movement in life is dependent on self-examination. Examine yourself. Ask questions. How far have I gone spiritually? How far have I gone morally? What is my movement so far? What has been my way of life as a father? Have I been a good father? Have I been an example? What has been my way of life as a mother? Have I been a good example? Have I been a light to my children? Have I been a light to my family? What has been my journey so far as a single girl? I'm not yet married. Have I moved living according to the way I'm supposed to live? What is my plan? How far have I moved? Have I been able to achieve? See, you analyze, you put all these things together. That's why Socrates said, unexamined life is not worth living. And that's why he said the Catholic Church, to celebrate these sacred mysteries, what did it? Let us call to mind our sin. It's a time also you look into yourself. So, you see, self-examination has to do with looking into the self. And unless you begin to examine yourself, you can never progress. You can never grow. You can never make meaning in life. So, why am I saying this today? You see, the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 16, when you read from verse 1 to 20, read everything. It's very important. In fact, the first part of it, read from Gospel of Matthew chapter 16, 13 to 20. Yeah, read from that verse 13, read to 14. What was the situation? They went to Caesarea Philippi, and Jesus had to ask them, who do people say I am? That is what people call evaluation, self-evaluation. You want to hear from them. What are people saying? What is their thinking concerning me? How do they see me? Was it that Jesus was not aware? Jesus was aware. But what Jesus was doing was a way of teaching them to learn to ask questions concerning the self. It's very important. That is what we call going into the self, asking questions. Because you see, there are some things you are doing that are not right. I need to help you to realize that what you are doing is not right. And then when he asked, who do people say I am? He wanted to hear them and want them to also learn to do the same thing. Because some persons, the way of a man seemeth right unto him. There are things you are doing that are not right, but you don't know that what you are doing is wrong. Other people will see it. And that's why from time to time, you ask questions. Those who are close to you. Why are people treating me this way? Why is it that people don't like me? Is it that I'm problematic? Is it because I'm sincere? Is it because I'm truthful? If it's because you are truthful, then you ask, is it the truth or the way I present the truth. These are two things. You may have truth, and the way you present it may not be right. You offend people. But there are people that whether you present it well or you not present it well, you tell them the truth, they are angry. Do you sit down to examine yourself? When you don't examine yourself, how can you measure your progress? I beg. Now so I be. What are you doing? What you are doing, is it right? You sit down and then analyze yourself. Sit before the mirror and be asking questions. The way I'm relating, is it I'm not relating well? Is it that am I the problem? The moment I sit down and I ask myself question, if I have problem with you, I'll first go and sit down and condemn myself and begin to analyze it one by one. In the end, I say, oh, guy, no, the fault is not your own. So people are going to see this idea of reflecting upon your life and then reflecting on life generally is very necessary. And you see it in the life of Kohelet. You know, Ecclesiastes, when you read from chapter 1, when you read, is it? The words of David's son, Kohelet, king of Jerusalem. Verse 2, vanity of vanities, says Kohelet. Vanity of vanities, all things are vanity. What profit has a man from all the labor which he toils at under the sun? Verse 4, one generation passes and another comes, but the word forever stays. You see, if you read further, he said, I have eaten the best of foods, the best of women, I have kept them, the best of wine, I have taken them, but all these are nothing but vanity. How did he come up with that? It was a product of his reflection. When you do not reflect on your life, you will not know where you are coming from, you will not know where you are going. Reflection. How far so far? Your spiritual life, how far so far? So Jesus has given us this task. From time to time, let us ask people who are sincere. See, that's why sometimes you need to keep people who are sincere around you. If you keep psychophants, even when you are not doing well, they say, no, you are doing well. No, you did not make any mistake. But when you do, they do like this. So, psychophants are not ready to tell anybody the truth. It's all about making you feel good. And that's why from time to time, you sit down in a quiet place. You come for a blessed sacrament. You don't come and always come to pray. Just sit down and say, God, reveal me to me. I want to know me. There is need for that introspection. So that when you are not doing well, you'll be able to adjust. And when you are doing well, you try and improve. There's always room for improvement. If you are good, you can be better. If you are bad, you can be good. Then people of God to see the life of the prodigal son in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 15, verses 11 to 32 thereabout. It's a very wonderful story. It's a story of somebody realizing and going into the self to change his life. When you don't go into yourself, you cannot change your life. He had done a lot of things that were not right. And one day he sat down. He thought to himself, I cannot remain here. I have to change my life. I have to change my level. And when he was running back to his father, did he say, I will go back as his son? He said, I am going back as a servant. Because what I have done is wrong. Until you go into yourself, you cannot discover you. And that's why even when you are wrong, you don't even know that you are wrong. When you are wrong and people are telling you, you get angry with them. But from time to time, ask even your workers question. Have I been fair to you? Sometimes you look at your wife eyeball to eyeball. Madam, have I been treating you well? Have I been respectful to you? Sometimes look at your husband. He said, have I been committed to you? What are those things about me you don't like? Let me know. Because there are things you can see, you cannot see. Remember the Johari's window. The things about you, you know. I know, God knows. Some things about you, you know, I don't know, God knows. Some things about you, I know, you don't know, God knows. Some things about you, you don't know, I don't know, only God there knows. It's a very wonderful analogy. So Jesus Christ has given us a task this morning. Who do people say you are? Yes. They may say you are this, you are this, you are this. But also ask yourself, who am I? Very important question. Who am I? Because after he asked them, who do people say I am? They said this one. What was the next thing? He said, who do you say I am? Very important. Personal. Very private. And if Peter stood up and Peter said, you are the Christ. Anytime you discover something great, your life will become great. And the greatest thing you need to discover is you. Discover your weaknesses. If I ask many of you here now, stand up, tell me 5 of your weaknesses. Some of you will not be able to. Because for you, everything is good around you. First, the only people that are not, it's other people that are not good, you are good. You don't have faults. Everybody has faults except you. You know, one of my children came to me and he was telling me how my father, my relationship has not been working well. I will try, I will go, it will collapse. And then I asked him one few questions, and I told him it has not started collapsing. That's just the beginning. Preamble to introduction. Until you amend this your attitude like this, it will not work. He said, Father, I didn't even know that it was I said, yes, it's a weakness. So you must examine yourself. Who do people say I am? Listen to them when they talk. Listen to them. You need it. You may not take everything, but there are parts of what they will tell you that will help you. And after you say, people say I am this, okay. All of them, listen to them. They will say, what can you say about me? You are very useless. 1. You are an idiot. 2. You smile a lot. 3. You are calm. 4. 5. You have no brain. You are very dull. You go and keep that one. Meet another person. By the time you put it together, you'll be able to figure out some things about you that you do not know. Don't always feel you have known everything. You are complete. You are not complete. People of God, we must do like Christ. We must ask questions. What are people saying about me? You are not saying it so that I can go and fight them. What is James saying about me? No, Jesus was not specific. He said, who do people say I am? So that hear what people are saying. If 20 people say something about you, at least 3 or 4 may be right. And by the time you put it together, everybody say, you are useless, you are useless, you are useless. All of them. Everybody say, you are calm, you are calm, you are calm. Or maybe 10 say you are calm. Other people say, you are foolish, but committed. You are foolish, but committed. It gives you an idea that even when you are foolish, you are committed to your foolishness. So how can you transform that commitment to foolishness now into something positive? People of God. And after everything, you say, now, who am I? Check the battles. See, check your mistakes and correct them. Don't feel too big to correct yourself. Sometimes also you sit down Oh, my marriage is not working. Why is your marriage not working? Where did you get it wrong? Is it not the same woman that you met 5 years ago? Is it not the same man you met 5 years ago that you fell in love? You were going to eat shawarma together. You were going to drink yogurt together. Rufeda, Yusra. Was it not the same man you were eating pizza together? You love me, love you, kiss, 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 kiss. So what has happened? Sometimes don't look at how to blame the man. Oh, start from you first. What am I not doing? Is it that my husband is leaving me at home now? At home, what am I not doing? Is it that if he's at home, I nag a lot? If I nag a lot, let me adjust. Men don't like nagging. If he's at home and instead of me giving attention, I'll be playing with my game. That's why he's going out. Let me check. Don't always blame people for any problem. First, look at it. What have you not done? Or what have you done that you have done wrong? Or what have you done right, but you did not present it well? So, when you examine it, every marriage has issues. Or it's your ability to do what? To examine which of the pillars they shake. Out of this whole engineer says something, say 60-something pillars. So, if there's a problem now, there's a crack in this place, you look and check the whole pillars. What do? You go and check that particular pillars. I'm not an engineer, but at least that's the little knowledge I have. And if you go, what do? You check it and see how you can put iron to fortify the pillar. The essence of introspection is to see the pillar in your life, is to see the pillar in your marriage, is to see the pillar in your relationship that is cracking and see how to use iron to put it and brace it up. The people of God, your marriage will collapse if there is no introspection and be sincere about it. Your relationship will collapse if there is no introspection and check where the problem is. Your life as a whole will crumble unless you go into yourself and ask yourself salient question. Why do you ask that question? In order to make amend, adjust, and then take a new step if there is a need. The people of God, unexamined life is not worth living, because it is by examining yourself, examining your relationship, examining your marriage, examining your academic performance that you'll be able to do what to improve. The essence of it all is to know yourself. Unless you know yourself, you cannot know me. Unless you know yourself, you cannot know your partner. Unless you know yourself, you cannot know any other person. So let it begin from you. Don't make effort to know me, Father Felix, because you can never know me, I assure you. Make effort to know you and be comfortable like that. I'm not making effort to know you, I'm making effort to know me, so that I'll know how to relate with you, I'll know how to treat you. If I know me, you know you. We'll know our limits, we'll be able to live together peacefully. The people of God, unexamined life is not worth living. Always examine yourself and see where you can make correction and adjustment.